right, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I've been informed that you have reached a verdict or a decision in this matter. Is that correct? Who has the verdict form? All right. You'll pass that to the bailiff. All right, verdict form appears to be in order. We'll let the clerk publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 20th Judicial Circuit in Forley County, Florida, criminal action, State of Florida v. Wade Wilson, case number 19 CF 568. Jury verdict form, penalty phase. We, the jury, finds as follows as to the defendant, Wade Wilson, in this case. As to count 1, first-degree murder, Christine Melton, we, the jury, unanimously find that the state has established beyond a reasonable doubt that Wade Wilson was previously convicted of a felony and under sentence of imprisonment or placed on community control or on felony probation. Yes. We, the jury, find unanimously that the state has established beyond a reasonable doubt that Wade Wilson was previously convicted of another capital felony or of a felony involving the use of threat of violence to the person. Yes. We, the jury, unanimously find that the state has established beyond a reasonable doubt that the first-degree murder was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel. Yes. We, the jury, unanimously find that the state has established beyond a reasonable doubt that the first-degree murder was committed in a cold, calculated, and premeditated manner without any pretense of moral or legal justification. No. If you, the jury, answered no to every aggravating factor listed, you have completed your deliberations. If you, the jury, answered yes to any aggravating factor listed, proceed to Section B. If fewer than 8 jurors vote for the death penalty, your recommendation must be for a penalty of life in prison without the possibility of parole. If 8 or more jurors vote for the death penalty, your recommendation must be for the death penalty. We, the jury, unanimously found the state proved 1 or more aggravating factors. Each of us has considered whether 1 or more mitigating circumstances exist. Each of us has weighed whether the proven aggravating factors are sufficient and whether the proven aggravating factors outweigh any proven mitigating circumstances. We have further considered whether Wade Wilson should be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole or death. We, the jury, find by a vote of 9-3 that Wade Wilson should be sentenced to death. As to count 4, first-degree murder, Diane Ruiz, we, the jury, unanimously find that the state has established beyond a reasonable doubt the existence of aggravating factors. We, the jury, unanimously find that the state has established beyond a reasonable doubt that Wade Wilson was previously convicted of a felony and under sentence of imprisonment or placed on community control or on felony probation. Yes. We, the jury, unanimously find that the state has established beyond a reasonable doubt that Wade Wilson was previously convicted of another capital felony or of a felony involving the use of threat of violence to the person. Yes. We, the jury, unanimously find that the state has established beyond a reasonable doubt that the first-degree murder was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel. Yes. We, the jury, unanimously find that the state has established beyond a reasonable doubt that the first-degree murder was committed in a cold, calculated, and premeditated manner without any pretense of moral or legal justification? Yes. If fewer than 8 jurors vote for the death penalty, your recommendation must be for a penalty of life in prison without the possibility of parole. If 8 or more jurors vote for the death penalty, your recommendation must be for the death penalty. We, the jury, unanimously found the state proved one or more aggravating factors. Each of us has considered whether one or more mitigating circumstances exist. Each of us has weighed whether the proven aggravating factors are sufficient and whether the proven aggravating factors outweigh any proven mitigating circumstances. We have further considered whether Wade Wilson should be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole or death. We, the jury, find by a vote of 10-2 that Wade Wilson should be sentenced to death. Dated this 25th day of June, 2024, in Lee County, Florida, 4-person, 234.
Does anybody want the jurors to be polled?
Yes, please.
Okay. Members of the jury, we're going to ask each of you about the jury's decisions that you have just heard. And I'm going to go juror by number. So do you, juror 97, agree that the decisions as read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided? Juror 97. Okay. Do you agree that the decisions read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided?
Yes.
Juror 234. Do you agree that decisions as read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 3. Do you agree that the decisions as read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided? Juror 205. Do you agree that the decisions as read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided?
Yes.
Juror 101. Do you agree that the decisions as read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided?
Yes.
Juror 215. Do you agree that the decisions as read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror 87. Do you agree that the decisions as read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided?
Yes.
Juror 362. Do you agree that the decisions as read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided?
Yes, sir.
Juror 136. Do you agree that the decisions as read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided? Juror 193. Do you agree that the decisions as read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided?
Yes, sir.
Juror 315. Do you agree that the decisions as read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided?
Yes.
Juror 309. Do you agree that the decisions as read by the clerk accurately reflect what the jury decided?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your time and consideration of this case. I also wish to advise you of some very special privileges enjoyed by jurors. No juror can ever be required to talk about the discussions that occurred in the jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied upon juries for consideration of difficult cases. We've recognized for hundreds of years that a jury's deliberations, discussions, and votes should remain their private affair as long as they wish it. Therefore, the law gives you a unique privilege not to speak about the jury's work. Although you are at liberty to speak with anyone about your deliberations, you are also at liberty to refuse to speak to anyone. A request to discuss either your verdict or your deliberations may come from those who are simply curious, from those who might seek to find fault with you, from the media, from the attorneys, or elsewhere. It will be up to you to decide whether to preserve your privacy as a juror. With that, we thank you again for your service. Gather your belongings, make sure you don't leave anything in the jury room, and the bailiff will escort you out. You are discharged.
All right.